There is more Smash Brothers? Another villain's coming? Wait, what? It's the same one. Why is K. Rool here? Is that a key? Wait, is that Donkey Kong 64 reference? Are you bringing back, like, the big lizard dude? Can Dixie come? Squawks? Oh no! No way! No way! Duck Hunt Dog, I will not allow you to do this. No way. You can't do a joke twice! Oh please! Oh my god! Come on, motherfuckers! Yeah! We actually, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking throw up. He looks so good. I might cry. Oh my god. This fucking witch bitch Ginginators! Oh, what a good final smash! Huh? Oh no, poor K. Rool! You did it! You fucking did it, man! Oh my god! Take all the time you need. Take all the fucking time you need, man.
Shall we play a game?
Since you pressed the pause button on your controller, your game is now paused. You are now listening to us. Welcome to Press Pause. You are playing the show that I hope has no input latency. However, you may have to have gotten this show from the Epic Game Store. Also, big thanks to KZXcellent of KZXcellent.com, Twitch, and Gooboots from the Big Think Dimension for giving me permission to use the intro of his reaction to Banjo and his hetero life mate Tui from the Snap Reveal stream. I'm Retro Rick, and I am joined by Crit Hit Jace.
Yo.
Deej Illustrator.
What's up, guys?
And special guest Rodney Brown.
Yo, howdy howdy.
Rodney, since you're new here, tell everyone who you are and what you do.
I sit in a chair and talk to people over Skype. I'm Rodney Brown. I'm the editor-in-chief of Nerd Caliber. We are a website and YouTube channel that covers all sorts of nerdy stuff, a lot of it conventions and cosplay, but games and movies and comics and all that sort of fun stuff.
Awesome. For these next two episodes, because I'll be splitting these episodes in half, we'll be talking we'll be doing our E3 hangover show, running down everything that happened during E3, from the games, the news, the people, our reactions, and everything else.
Oh, what a hangover!
Yeah. Especially for you.
Oh my god.
Jace, you're an MVP.
I mean, now I can put myself up there. At least next time it's not going to be on Facebook, because fuck them for losing the Square Enix half of Monday night. I am so disappointed about that one. But yeah, like, I've now joined, I guess, the leagues of the people on YouTube like Yongya and RGT85 and the like who sit there and live stream their reactions and all that stuff and like 18 hours of press conference plus all the news that came out the previous week plus the news following the people who were there who actually got to play shit behind closed doors, paying attention to what they had to say about stuff and everything. Like, my eyes and ears feel like they're bleeding at this point. I felt so tired on freaking Wednesday as it was. Waking up, I'm like, am I getting old? No, the world is getting old around me.
But before E3 happened, we actually got some info on some games like Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Pokemon Direct.
Yes, we got Dynamax.
Yep.
Which I swear it still sounds like a Pokemon brand tampon.
Yeah, I can hear that.
We got Beef Boy Milo. And Beep Beep Wooloo the Sheep.
And of course, the internet wastes no time when it comes to Rule 34 because there was all sorts of art about Nessa. You know,
we'll get to that when we get to her.
Oh yeah, true. She was the E3 reveal. Yeah. So it was Leon and what the hell was her name? The Pokemon professor's assistant.
Oh, I can't remember.
People flipped out about her, including myself. I was like, Marissa, you cosplay her. She's totally your aesthetic.
But going into E3, we got info on Stadia.
Oh boy, I got all the notes on this. I got the.
Yeah, it's a cloud gaming service operated by Google. You'll need 35 bps to play at mixed settings. That's a 4K resolution, high dramatic range, HDR, 60 frames per second FPS, 5.1 surround sound. As a PC gamer noted last week, that adds 15.75 gigs per hour, which would use up an entire 1 terabyte monthly data allotment in a 65 hours game time.
Fun.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't this like Google's like second, third time trying to make a gaming system?
It's gotta be.
I don't recall any.
Because I feel like they tried before, like a long time ago, like at least with some kind of like a Steam box or something like that. It was when Steam was gonna at some point try to make arcade systems
2 years ago. I remember that.
Yeah, that was all the years ago. So I thought like Google was trying to do their own thing.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, someone correct me. But
you're not thinking about the, what do they call it, Project Stream, the thing that they have had out for a couple of years that is the predecessor to this. It was basically the alpha stage where they were trying to make sure it worked.
Oh, okay.
Or were you thinking about a different service where they actually tried to fully launch a service? Because I don't remember one.
I just remember hearing how like Steam was trying to make the Steam boxes, and then someone told me like I remember watching a YouTube video where it said Google was trying to do the same thing. They were making some kind of controller. It may have been for Steam or could have been this service. I just don't remember.
But the Founder Edition, which is $138 with shipping, it comes with 3 free months of Pro, which Pro will be a regular of $10 a month, an assortment of some games. But with the Founders Edition, you get all of Destiny 2, the first year content and the brand new content. Yay.
Why don't you include Anthem in there while you're at it?
Nobody wants Anthem. Have anything to add with that, Jace?
I think he just accidentally dropped out of the stream.
Ooh. Yes, he did.
Uh-oh. Ooh. So I'll add something to that.
I lost my connection. Oh. Sorry about that, guys.
No problem.
I was just going to say, so it's got dual band, yada yada, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.2, all that typical stuff. It's got a headset jack built into it. and Google Assistant, which I mean is like a whoop-de-doo, and USB-C, good to hear. But the biggest problem with that is the bandwidth issue. I don't know how much into that you guys got with the bandwidth issue with it.
Oh, we didn't talk about the problems yet because I have a giant problem with Stadia. Is the whole, even if you're paying for the service, the streaming, you still got to pay full price for these games.
Yep.
Yeah, they still haven't actually announced what they're going to do about that, because it's like, well, you will get free games regularly, supposedly, with it, along with exclusive discounts, which is supposedly what you're supposed to get with My Nintendo as well, but we all see how Nintendo bungles online to begin with, so... But
they had a good system in the beginning. I used to rank up points and get really cool stuff, but then they decided to take that away and just be like, oh, well, you can get wallpapers.
No more physical rewards, unless you're in Europe or Japan. Boo. But, yeah, back to Google fucking up. So, yeah, here's the down low right here on connection and performance. They recommend a 35 megabit per second connection with a minimum of 10, which will be playable on everything, including Pixel smartphones, the 3 and 3A, using Chrome. They bragged about a lot of the publishers, including Capcom, Square Enix, Take-Two, yada yada. They revealed Baldur's Gate 3, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Guilt, horror game, Get Packed, couch and online co-op, 4-player, lots of ragdoll physics, it's a Stadia exclusive, some more Tom Clancy's Division 2, oh boy, Destiny 2, the collection, which should be interesting now that it's going free to play, now that Bungie is divorced from Ubisoft, and then a massive sizzle reel that exists, that has a lot of games that are either coming out or already out. And I'm just going to rattle this off as quick as possible in one breath here. Doom Eternal, Crew 2, Grid, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, FM, MK11, Farming Simulator 19, Elder Scrolls Online, Darksiders Genesis, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Trials Rising, Wolfenstein Youngblood, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Rage 2, Thumper, Final Fantasy 15, Samurai Showdown, and Metro Exodus.
Nice.
Woo!
But yeah, the according to calculations, most providers have a 1 terabyte data cap, and based on peak connection, they're saying you will hit that cap at about 65, 66 hours of gameplay. So, yeah. Good luck with your internet bills,
Well,
folks.
it just shows that we are not yet ready for cloud gaming.
I mean, I think we could be if the internet companies weren't such greedy bastards who have monopolized the markets and, as a result, control everything from how much it costs to what you can get where you live. And that's a big thing, because if there's actual competition in the cable market, you would see lower prices, faster speeds, and progress with technology. And that is definitely a big issue here in the United States, at least. I mean, you can go to other countries and get way better service, or you can go to a place like Australia and get something worse than Comcast. Ooh. So,
worse than Comcast?
Watch Layman Gaming whenever they rag on their internet service. Oh my God. I mean, Rick, you've heard Adam talk about it a few times on Mental, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Australia's got it worse than us in America with Comcast, so pray for Australia when Stadia comes out.
Jeez.
Then we move on to Microsoft.
Well, we did have EA Play on Saturday. Only one thing worth talking about, in my opinion. Although it was shocking, there was a half hour dedicated to The Sims 4, which I forgot was still a thing.
Yeah, so did I until my
But they showed off they showed off 15 minutes of gameplay for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and I hate to say it. I mean, granted, I am one of the few Star Wars faithful who finds very little wrong with the new canon and how Disney's handling it, but this actually makes me want to buy an EA game the day it comes out. And I don't even own a PlayStation 4.
Did you see
Agreed.
Did you see the clip of the Shadow Colossus climbing up an AT-AT?
Oh yeah. You know, I mean, it gives me. They clearly are trying to hit all the bases for what people love about like Star Wars and what they've wanted to do, like when Luke uses the grapple and cuts into the AT-AT and stuff. Like they clearly know the fan service triggers that people are gonna scream about. I watched several videos, including one from the guys at Star Wars Explained. Got to sit down and actually interview and talk to them a bit about it, and it sounds like it's really going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to the tie-in media because that stuff's usually, I mean, like for all the people who complain about Battlefront 2, I never played the game. I never got around to playing the story because I don't own a PlayStation 4. But I can tell you right now that if anybody thought that the story sucked, they probably didn't read or listen to the audiobook of the tie-in prequel novel, and that's the biggest downfall of Star Wars in general these days is if you're not following all the little tie-ins, you're going to be left with Swiss cheese plots. But that being said, Dominic Monaghan looks like he played that role spot on. I was not expecting to see Saw Gerrera. So, I mean, Forrest Whitaker returning as Saw Gerrera, really freaking awesome. And I'm just in love with those freaking badass stormtroopers with, like, the dual-sided, like, electroshock weapons.
Those are cool.
They're called Purge Troopers. And I just like that name, Purge Trooper, in general.
They vomit on you, or what?
Well, I mean, this is coming from somebody who worked background on the Purge election day, or election year, or whatever the hell the name of that movie was. I
keep forgetting that's part of your resume.
Yeah.
I only remember Grown Ups 2, Here Comes the Boom, and the Ghostbusters.
Basically, if it's a bad movie that was shot in Massachusetts, I'm somehow in the background of it most of the time. Probably the other thing to note that I absolutely loved was the new droid, the body droid, BD-1. It actually had a real animatronic that they showed off there, and the sound effects for the droid were actually made by the original sound designer for Star Wars, Ben Burtt himself. So that's and there is no light or dark mechanic like the other Star Wars games. This is a cut and dry set story that they're telling. So it's not going to be like Knights of the Old Republic or any of the other old games. This is a pure story game. So damn you, EA, for making me actually want to buy one of your games. Also,
I was sold on that. I was sold on that, like you said, from watching the trailer. When I was watching one of those, and I can't remember if it was the one you just mentioned, if it was another one of those interviews with the developers after the fact, and they were talking about the way you can use your lightsaber to block incoming blaster shots, that you can just keep holding it down and it will spin the saber around and just knock the shots anywhere. But if you try to time it with the shot coming to you, and if you get it right, you shoot it right back at them and kill them.
Awesome.
And that falls in line with like the new canon and the way that they're telling like the story about how the Force works and the Force powers. Recently, I think it was like Master and Apprentice. It was either that one or Dooku Jedi Lost, where both of them really, really cool stories. One focusing on Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and then flashing over to Qui-Gon training under Dooku, and then the other one dealing with like Dooku training, and the intense amount of focus that it takes to actually have to block and reflect the shot versus just block the shot away. The game captures that concept perfectly. And so, I mean, like, I really feel like Lucas Story Group probably also leaned in on them hard and went, you guys are going to do this right. So,
yeah, we don't, because they can't handle another backlash like last time.
Oh, God. I mean,
I have never seen a community band together so much as what happened. Like, EA, what they did was the near impossible.
It downright actually, and I mean, this will make a great episode in the future, but the gaming industry is still feeling the ripple effect from that almost, 2 years later?
Yeah,
because-
even during certain presentations like Marvel Avengers, they had to say there will be no microtransactions or no loot boxes. That has to be part of the presentation. Which is now a selling point, which is kind of depressing when you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, and Randy Pitchford, of course, catching fire, but also reacting immaturely because he said no microtransactions, implying no pay-to-win, no loot boxes, no yada yada. But then later saying, well, yeah, there's going to be cosmetic stuff like there was in Borderlands 2. It's like, that's technically a microtransaction.
I think that's what he meant.
That's what I figured, too.
To give him some credit, which is hard to do nowadays, I know what he meant when he said that, but his reaction was still unwarranted. It just makes him look like a child.
It's not Randy Pitchford if he doesn't do something incredibly over the top to embarrass his company. Yep. I mean, I love the guy just for it, though, because it makes me laugh. Okay. But, yeah, so moving on to the first actual press conference, I will say this much. If everybody poured out at least one for EA in each of their press conferences this year, because everybody showed off at least one mobile game at all of the press conferences.
Yeah, pretty much. But first we got Microsoft. Their first one was Outer Worlds by Obsidian, which is out 10/25/19.
It's going to be multi-platform because this was a game that was being worked on before Obsidian got bought by Microsoft.
Yep, and it's by the Fallout New Vegas devs.
Yep.
And Jace, I heard those guys are really good at making games that make Todd Howard mad.
Oh, God. The fact that they basically just... not only overshadowed Fallout 3, but the fact that even Fallout 4, people are like, well, this isn't as good as New Vegas. It's like, way to piss off the company that contracted you by outdoing them. 2K Australia gets it. They just kind of copy-pasted and put a little bit more storyline into Borderlands, the pre-sequel. They didn't want to outshine the people who made the game originally. But Obsidian, they're like, oh no, hold my beer, I can do this better.
Next we got Bleeding Edge by Ninja Theory, a 4v4 brawler, and the tech alpha is out June 27th.
I am really curious about it. Looks like a very strong contender against Overwatch. Yeah. As far as like stylistically and play-wise, I think that this has definitely got potential to catch on pretty heavily.
Yep. Next is Minecraft Dungeons, which it has a Diablo feel to it.
Before that, Ori and the Will of the Wisps out on February 11th, 2020. Game Pass at launch, like a lot of the games. It's the follow-up to the previous Ori and the Blind Forest. It looks phenomenal. I mean, it's a beautiful, side-scrolling, atmospheric.
It's one of the games that it's on my list, so I have to play, that I want to play. I just need to beat my pile of other games first.
Yep.
Next, we got a 2D game called Spiritfarer, which is basically you bring dead souls on your custom-made city on a boat, and then set them free.
Wow, you jumped, pretty far.
Bob from Gigaboots called this Water World with Furries.
Well, okay then.
Prior to that, they showed off a separate trailer for Jedi Fallen Order that showed off a different area, showed off that AT-AT climbing. Then there was Blair Witch.
Oh,
that one was probably the most out of left field because it's like, how many years later is a Blair Witch game coming out?
I'm shocked it's even getting a game.
And then, because you jumped right to Spiritfarer, this was one of the big moments of E3 and probably one of the most wholesome things. This definitely goes up there. If I had to make like a top list, I can only think of two things off the top of my head. And that's the EA press conference when the developer of Unravel came out with his little model of the character Yarny.
Oh yeah.
And he's just like, this is Yarny, and you just saw the guy and you went like, he's a cinnamon bun, must protect. Like, You know, because he just
I remember that.
He showed so much unabashed joy for his creation on stage at an EA press conference. But we had the other most wholesome moment.
Oh yeah,
like
we will get to that. I have that.
And that was before Spirit Fair, so we'll get to that when we cover.
Oh.
That was before it. I've literally got everything as it happened, like written down. That's why. So, unless you want to talk about it now that I've brought it up.
Talk about it now.
Okay. Release date April 16th, 2020. Cyberpunk 2077, a game 7 years in development.
My body
from
is ready
those
for this game.
Those beautiful, beautiful Polish bastards at CD Projekt Red. I love my people.
and you can actually beat the entire game without killing anyone.
Yeah. No, I mean, everything about this just seems amazing. Yong Ya got to play it, I think, for like an hour. They've switched between two different versions of the protagonist, two different builds, a tank build and a stealth build, where you could, like one version, you could go and literally not kill anybody and just hack and do all that shit. The other one where you could just go in and tear shit up and not give a fuck. And, I mean, like, honestly, everything about the game, it just looks gorgeous. I love the setting. I love the character design, the scripting.
Looks more of a next-gen game.
Which is amazing because it's coming out late this gen. Like, and the question is of course, like, the PlayStation 5 is rumored, or maybe even confirmed, I can't remember, to be backwards compatible with the 4. So, I mean, will it just do Cyberpunk better, or will they release?
It'll probably reduce the loading times.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing. If we want to do a separate thing talking about console wars, maybe later on, closer to when those things launch.
Yeah.
It seems like the big battle for the next wave will be 8K, which nobody gives a shit about because graphics don't need to get realer. Streaming, which again nobody gives a shit about. Pretty sure a lot of people still like having physical copies of their games,
yep,
except for the game publishers. And, of course, eliminating load times is the last big thing. And I think that's going to be the big thing that those two systems, the Scarlet and the PS5, are going to duke it out for, is who can get rid of load times first.
Right.
So. But yeah, Keanu fucking Reeves, you're wonderful!
Yes.
Breathtaking
he was
is what
the
he said.
second highlight of E3 for me.
We'll get to the first one when we get to that conference. But Keanu Reeves is in the game, and that's going to be amazing.
Johnny Silverhand.
Johnny Mnemonic.
As I like to call him, Cyber John Wick.
Yes.
Cyber John Wick. Well, I mean, got the same first names, though.
Yep.
No release date for Battletoads. That pisses me off.
Thank God. That looked horrible.
I'm looking forward to it still. I'm still looking forward to it.
Are we just talking about the animation, or are we just talking about the entire game in general?
That entire game hurt me. It looks like the Battletoad fight from Shovel Knight looks like a better Battletoad game.
Then a really cool kind of Yoshi's Crafted World, Little Big Planet vibe RPG called RPG Time Legend of Right. Looked really good.
That looked rad. That looked very rad.
I absolutely am in love with that artwork style. And normally I wouldn't give a shit about Microsoft's press conferences other than covering it for, stuff like this. But before E3, they said that they are taking their games off of the Windows Store, and they're going to be partnering with Steam, actually, to be putting them all up as Windows 64-bit as opposed to like Windows proprietary, which will also allow for Microsoft's games to be modded. Now, I know that this is going to make a lot of people go, oh god, here they go again, shooting the Xbox in the foot. For someone like me who doesn't want to go out and buy 3 consoles, this is a beautiful thing because this means that anything that's coming to Microsoft Xbox will be hitting the PC, and I'll actually still be able to play it. And it's hitting Steam, which is a nice big middle finger to the Epic Game Store, which we can talk about if we're going to cover the PC Game Show.
Oh, we will, because I have issues with that.
PC shit show, as I like to call it. So yeah, they then talked about Game Pass for PC, games that were coming out that day, shadow dropping on Game Pass. They showed off Flight Simulator, which looked absolutely gorgeous. Why you showed off at E3
that looked amazing. I noticed the Flight Simulator games. I've never played a single one, but this one looked pretty gorgeous.
Yeah, it did look amazing. Then they showed off Age of Empires 2 Remastered. They announced another new studio. And this one was a holy shit.
And Phil Spencer came out wearing a cool Psychonauts shirt.
Yep. That tells you right there. Double Fine Studios is the next Microsoft studio.
They did it. They bought them.
Now, what that means for Psychonauts 2, I don't know, because I could have sworn that was going to be multi-plat when they first announced that. I think because it was announced prior to their acquisition, just like Outer Worlds, it will probably still be multi-plat, but going forward, they're going to be exclusive to Microsoft. Unless Microsoft says otherwise, because I will say, Phil Spencer had a very strange comment when asked about something later on, and I will bring this up because this had me going, conspiracy theory time. What? What did you just say, Phil Spencer?
Now that Microsoft owns Double Fine, there's only one company they need to get now, and that's Inti Creates.
Ooh, wow, yeah. Either that or, well, Sega's not doing too well, and in my opinion, well, supposedly not doing too well. I don't know about how the rumors are with that, but I still think Nintendo should pick up Sega, and if they were really smart, they'd pick up Inti as well, just because Inti gets that pixel art aesthetic, that old school look that Nintendo fans love. Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga was announced, all 9 films.
I do not like Star Wars, but I love Lego games, and that Lego Star Wars is right up my alley.
I played the previous one that was the first 6 movies all in one, and I'm looking forward to this one even more. Then the RPG Dragon Ball Z game got a title.
Yes.
Kakarot. I think it looks phenomenal. It's got this vibe of like a 3D version of the Zelda-style Dragon Ball Z game that came out on the Game Boy Advance back in the day.
Yeah, but
Legacy of Goku.
I want this to go beyond the Frieza saga, past the Cell saga, even past the Boost saga, because I'm tired of like DBZ games just like going up to the Frieza saga and just stopping.
Well, that's what I was telling Jace. Was my biggest problem about the Kakarot was that just watching a trailer, it just looked like almost every single other Dragon Ball Z game I ever played. And that was the first impression.
My impression of it, seeing them stop at Frieza, was one, when the show was first airing in the United States, it did stop roughly around Frieza before we started getting Cell, like several years later. At that point, I was already watching Boo Saga in Japanese, so I mean, like, I was just like, whatever. But it's in my opinion, it's going to work out more like a Final Fantasy VII remake situation where that's meant to be episodic. Right now, it's rumored that that's going to come in 3 episodes. God knows how long Square can freaking drag that out for, because we can talk about that one later too. But yeah, I mean, like, I think it looks great. The quote just at the beginning of Toriyama saying, "This is a definitive Dragon Ball experience," definitely means a lot, because if a creator actually says something like that about their work, and we're talking Toriyama here, a dude who saw Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Evolution and threw up some middle fingers and said, "Fuck y'all, I'm taking control of this bitch again. Nobody else will touch this shit ever again. Just me." So for Toriyama to say that this is definitive, I'm like, okay, I'm going to trust it. So then there was Annapurna Studios put out something called 12 Minutes.
All right. I saw this game, and during the same week, I watched Happy Death Day, so I was like in the mood for this game. I kind of want to play this.
Show and I immediately, because of course everything is a JoJo's reference, we're just going, oh shit, Killer Queen activated. Then Way to the Woods, which had a very Miyazaki feeling to it, a deer with glowing antlers, gorgeous cel-shaded game. Huge freaking rundown of Gears 5, which is out September 10th.
Yay, my birthday.
I actually, I later watched the replay of what they showed off there with Xavier Woods, Tyler Breeze, and AJ Styles playing the game.
Uncomfortable.
It was kind of funny. Then again, they were probably crammed off into a little corner for doing that because they had to be there at the press conference. They did have a really cool kind of pan thing with the camera going to when they showed off the escape mode, like the bowels of the stage or something like that. And then we got our movie tie-in for Terminator for no apparent reason as well.
You kept hearing that dun 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 dun
dun dun dun dun. Yeah. Then they showed off the newest version of the $200 controller that they make.
Yep. The Elite controller. It's $180. Bluetooth, 40-hour internal battery.
Because you're going to be sitting there for 40 hours playing a game.
No, it's basically for the kids who only ever play Fortnite.
True.
Then you got Supermarket Shriek, which looked interesting.
I don't even remember that one being shown off.
Yeah, it was like a really quick clip.
Yeah, because my next note is Dying Light 2 out spring 2020.
Yep.
And then this one just blew my mind. This one had me going, what the fuck am I watching right now?
Is it Forza?
Forza Horizon 4's Lego promotion.
This was wild.
I mean, like, of course I'm sitting there and I'm going, of course it's not a Microsoft presentation without showing off some expensive car. And then as they get closer to it, you see it's made out of Legos and you go, is that car made out of motherfucking Legos?
And then you see the trailer for the game. And then, oh my god.
It's like, are you going to make me want to play a Forza game, Microsoft?
I mean, Jace, our buddy Mars, come on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. I mean, like, he is a ginormous freaking, like, rally racing, like, you know, Initial D fanatic. Like, plays those games, replicates his car, freaking, you know, blasts Eurobeat while he's playing the game. Like, it's like, motherfucking Legos, dude. Like,
this actually made me enjoy a Forza game for once.
And then this was Microsoft pouring one out for EA, Gears Pop for iOS and Android. I think it looks hilarious. I have no clue how the hell it plays. I'll probably give it a try because it'll probably be free to play. State of Decay 2 available now. And then this was my what the fuck moment for Microsoft. Phantasy Star Online 2 finally coming west. And Phil Spencer said after the fact, it's hitting everywhere else. It's not just going to hit them. It's going to hit PlayStation. It's going to hit Nintendo. I'm like, thank you. Wait. Microsoft announced a Sega game, and it's going to hit Sony and Nintendo. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, so I'd like to know some of the details, what's going on behind the scenes, like licensing and shit. Like, it's kind of a little weird. Like, is Microsoft not only making a console, but getting into third-party publishing now? Like, it's kind of strange.
What's up, gamers? Retro Rick here. Hope you enjoyed E3, and I hope you're enjoying this week's episode. Huge thanks to first-person shooter Rodney Brown from Nerd Caliber for being on. He was awesome. Also, a big thanks to KZXcellent for letting me use his reaction to Banjo and Kazooie that you saw or heard at the start of the show. It just made me laugh so hard I had to use it to open up the episode. With all that out of the way, now it's time to tell you, fine people, that if you like this episode and like what we do on the show is brought to you by JList.com. And if you use our promo code located in the description box, You can use the reusable code to get 5% off your entire order and to get some pretty cool stuff from Japan. Also, we are presented by the Green Tea House, home of all natural herbal teas. By Humble Bundle, we can get some really cool games from them, even Switch games. So if you liked what you saw at E3 and want to buy them, check out Humble Bundle and use our link to go help us a bit too. By the Kawaii Box, we can get little trinkets and little candies from Japan each month. Or if you just like to toss a few bucks our way, personally, even $1 helps. No matter what, every dollar helps. We have PayPal, we have coffee, or if you want some really good stuff for your buck, we have a Patreon, where for just $1, you can get unedited, uncut episodes before they go live. So basically, you won't hear the ads. You won't hear my drowning voice. But if you do want more bang for your buck, we have cool incentives like Deej will make you your own personalized doodle disc where you take two things that you like, he'll make a cartoon out of them, or you can get a free pack of free comics and DVDs. All these links down in the description box below. That's all from me. Now back to the
And then Tales of Arise coming out in 2020.
Tales of Arise.
Arise?
Yes.
Okay.
They gave Tales money.
Oh my god, it looks amazing.
Well, I've actually never played any of the Tales games. I've seen gameplay. This
dude, they're
looks
great.
amazing.
Marissa's
this one
obsessed
actually
with
had
them.
money behind it. It actually
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah, I mean, can't wait for more stuff on that one. That it definitely explains the big wait between the last Tales game and this one. Then of course we get another new trailer with a story preview for Borderlands 3. The thing that caught me off guard, that sounded like the original Claptrap, which despite the bullshit going on, it is. They did manage to get him back.
Yeah,
They gone back?
yeah, because
Wow.
so a lot of people were pissed off, and then they rushed to get him back.
Well, rightfully
Wow.
so.
Yeah, definitely.
Then we also got Borderlands 2 DLC.
Yep, and I'm so glad. Free DLC. I already got that shit downloaded. Marissa's now got it on her Mac. We are back and playing Borderlands again. I have never been happier in my life because I missed freaking looting vaults on Pandora with Marissa. Oh my god, so much fun. It's couples time, blasting psychos in the head.
Then we got Elden Ring.
Yep, the rumor confirmed. The reason why the 6th Game of Thrones book is not out yet, apparently,
Damn
is
him.
George R.R.
Damn
Martin.
him.
It's
The
Gurm
RPG
himself.
and option-based Dark Souls ripoff.
Yep. And then we got a little bit of blah blah about xCloud with the first public hands-on at E3, and then they announced, as I had briefly glossed over it before, the unveil of Project Scarlet coming out next year. Their new system, trying to eliminate load times, 8K, 120 frames per second, all that stuff, and it launches with Halo Infinite.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Which had the trailer of opening up with a sad dad, and he finds Master Chief in space.
And the first question that popped in my head, is Master Chief a robot? Initiating boot sequence? I thought that Master Chief was a dude, in the Space Navy who had the rank of Master Chief, and he was a person.
He's a genetically engineered person, but yeah, he's a physical being. He's not a robot. Unless something's
A
changed in the
9-foot-tall
last
being
game.
who needs to look up, look down, look left, look up, look down, look right,
Teabag.
look up, look down, look up, and you do that for 40 minutes.
I mean, their reveal of it last year...
Jason, you have to look up. Now you can go. Before you do that, you have to look right.
Good point.
Look, say what you will, but I still think that's more fun than Fortnite.
Oh yeah.
If anything's more fun than Fortnite. All aside from trolling the kids with voices in Fortnite. That was fun. I had one kid, I made his night by doing SpongeBob's voice. I heard him at the end of the match going, I just played a game with SpongeBob! And I was just like, I just made that kid's night. Like, fuck yeah.
That is beautiful, Jace. It really is.
Give it to the people.
That was wholesome. So yeah, you guys want to give our overall thoughts, like ranking them at the end of it all, or do you want to just... Okay, at the end? Okay, cool. Okay.
All right. Now
next for damage control.
Now we move on to Bethesda.
Oh god.
When I say
You
dragon,
feel
and
the cringe.
when I say dragon and mash the electrode strapped to your brain, you cheer. Also, you say woo a bunch of times.
Or you take the money that we gave you to cheer, and you cheer.
Yes.
Woo!
There's no question. No question that was a paid audience.
The whole front row was.
The first few rows were supposedly like interns, employees, and their families, supposedly. And that one guy who yelled "woo" at everything
he
was like a paid social influencer.
Yeah, he was an influencer who runs the Elder Memes Twitter account.
Yeah.
But Todd Howard opened up the show and cracked a joke about Fallout 76 being bad.
And you know things are bad when the crowd supposedly is cheering at the announcement for NPCs.
Yes.
And it didn't even sound like it was a very strong cheer. And the worst part is like, if you go back and rewatch it, they pull a WWE and they pipe in extra applause and cheering into the edited footage of their conference.
Yes.
What drove me crazy was when Howard said, we got a lot of criticism, which was deserved. It's like, yeah, no shit. Plus, there's all those people that would criticize you in the beginning, and you would try to block them.
But it was 3.5 minutes that started their press conference with zero apology. It's like, yes, we deserved it, but then they went right to, but it's all about you.
I mean,
well, no.
Even
somewhere in there has to be a, I'm sorry, it should have been all about you.
He didn't even say I'm sorry because days prior with an interview with IGN, he unabashedly announced that the game was rushed and that the whole workflow now is release a game, fix it later. Like, he actually openly announced, like, admitted to that on IGN, a major freaking media platform that covers games. I mean, like, and he didn't expect fan backlash? Or even, like, I thought that people were going to be ready with freaking, like, spikes ready for his head there at that freaking conference.
Why would game companies in general think that's a good idea? Like, just release it now and fix it later. It's like, why would I buy First Aid then? And let's say it takes you, like, a month to fix the game. By then, we're moving on to the next thing. We've already moved on to a company that was competent and made a better game, and then your game is dwindled, and next thing you know is just strapped to random consoles so they can just get rid of the games.
Cash flow.
Yeah.
It's all about cash flow. They get their hit and with the pre-orders up front that allows them to pay their staff for the next 2 months or 3 months. And at this point, that's what...
Rush them through those 2 months.
At this point, that's what the business model is for some of these studios, that they have to have the cash flow because they're not going to have the long-term profit, and they know it.
And it's all to appease the investors on top of it all, because that was a big thing at the beginning of the year come tax time with Activision Blizzard laying off 10% of its workforce because they missed their annual sales goal by something like 0.1 or 0.2 million, but still outsold every year prior to that.
The shareholders in general are starting to piss me off with the gaming. Like the fact that, I think it was either Call of Duty or Battlefield. One of those games sold like 500 million copies, and yet that was apparently a giant disappointment. And then you got the shareholders who are trying to pressure Nintendo to just release the new Animal Crossing. Nintendo's going, no, we don't want to actually hurt our employees. We're not frickin' Bethesda. We're not BioWare. We're not going to hurt our employees.
Yeah, we want a positive work environment. They didn't want to lay anybody off when the Wii U and the 3DS were doing that. The executives all took pay cuts, Iwata himself especially, because laying off people would be bad for morale and cause other people to have to work harder. Nintendo gets it. And they're in Japan, the most workaholic country in the world. And when American game developers are being worked harder than Japanese game developers, there is a serious problem.
But then we move on to Elder Scrolls Blades. Hashtag
oh boy, mobile game.
Yay! a true
Switchblades.
Elder Scrolls experience, huh?
Yep. Hashtag Switchblades.
I can't wait to download the game for free and spend 10 minutes of playing Elder Scrolls on my Switch, and then spend another 5 to 10 hours waiting for the treasure chests I get in the game to open up.
Yeah. Then they announced they put NPCs into Fallout 76, and they added fucking Battle Royale mode.
Oh my god.
I thought we were done with Battle Royale mode.
The Sonic...
Thank you for believing in us, is what they said at the end of it all, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
We stopped believing you, back when you ported Skyrim for the 40th time, and the fact that you still had not fixed the bugs that had been in the game for all these years, despite porting it over several times.
Well, that Fallout 76 year 2, so they've added NPCs that you can interact with standard dialogue trees, quests for solo play. They've essentially turned it into a standard Fallout RPG. After 1 year of a horrible survival game, was it ever really a survival game, or was it an alpha of a standard version of Fallout, of an RPG with NPCs and quests?
Yeah, see, that's definitely the big feel behind that, is that it definitely was them kind of just cutting it quick and releasing it and being like, oh yeah, no, and it's going to have a multiplayer mode too. You know what? Let's just put out the multiplayer mode first and publicize it as a multiplayer mode.
Exactly.
Yeah, got to make that money fast, that's the whole problem with Activision right now and Blizzard. So, oh shit, you're not putting out games fast enough, Blizzard. Let's stick a corporate person in there, huh? A CFO. That'll get you going, right? Right?
All right,
Make that money.
Then Bethesda takes a hard left turn and becomes wholesome.
Oh my god. Yep. Wholesome moment number 2.
Yes, we are introduced to the wonderness that is the treasure from Tango Gameworks, Ikumi Nakamura, who has all the energy of someone shouting "Niku Niku Ni."
The next greatest cinnamon bun of the internet.
Yes.
Oh my god, yes.
She did posing, and then she was so adorable. I just wanted her to host the entire E3.
Oh god, yes. I mean, and the thing is, I'd shared a meme, I think recently, that was actually Zelda from Breath of the Wild doing Ikumi's pose, showing it's dangerous to go alone, take me! And I was like, oh my god. Even the pose has gone viral, at this point.
Everything she
so
does
pick your
has gone
favorite female
viral.
character. Yeah. So just oh my god. It's innocent cinnamon bun, must protect at all costs.
But she worked on so many. She worked on Okami.
What was it? Beautiful Joe was one of them, I think.
Yeah, Beautiful Joe and Mommy Step on Me.
What?
No, that's Nina.
I think that may be a game in development in your head.
That's the next that's the next
what's her
press
name?
conference.
Not Banshee.
Bayonetta?
Yeah.
Bayonetta.
Bayonetta. She worked on Bayonetta.
Okay, yeah.
And Evil Within too. And Evil Within.
Yep.
But she introduced a game called Ghostwire Tokyo. Don't fear the unknown. Attack it.
I like it. I like the concept. I think it looks really cool. Any game where you get to explore a realistic version, the streets of Japan and everything like that is always cool. But the whole like aesthetic for this game, like the creepy factor, I'm loving it.
Yes.
It was hard for me to judge the game. I would like to see a little more gameplay, which is going to be kind of like my common criticism about this year of E3.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
mainly all like videos, no
Yeah.
actual gameplay.
All the
Because
gameplay behind closed doors.
Because unfortunately, I hate to say this, but after everything we learned with Anthem and BioWare, it's hard for me to trust those the videos anymore. Because it's like, is that the game we're going to get, or are we actually going to get like something else completely different?
Yep.
It's an ongoing problem because for years they had live demos of people playing the games and stuff like that, and you always kind of ask yourself when you watch somebody playing it on stage, is this real or is this Memorex? You know, and I mean, like, and a lot of times, like, the reason why CD Projekt Red admitted to showing off Cyberpunk last year behind closed doors was because alpha builds of games don't represent the final versions. And whenever you show somebody a gameplay, early gameplay, anything like that, stuff can get taken out, and then people go like, well, why wasn't this? And that, case in point, Naughty Dog, I think it was Naughty Dog, or Insomniac, one of the two, the studio that did Spider-Man, and when people were upset about the shininess of the puddles.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Puddlegate?
Puddlegate, yeah. You know, and I think that between that and technical problems and, you know, is this a live play versus is somebody just pantomiming with a controller? I will say that 2 years ago I did not trust Anthem as far as I could throw a politician because, and I'm a big guy. But yeah, I did not trust it because the voice, like, chat between the people playing the game sounded way too scripted. As somebody who does voiceover, I could tell they were reading from a script, that wasn't live gameplay. And I think that, like, between the Anthem debacle and issues with, you know, oh, things don't look like that when it comes out. So Puddlegate, you know, and technical issues of people playing a game and the controller not working or it's not playing right. All of these have kind of made publishers afraid to show gameplay on stage to a mass audience. And I think that that's the big reason why this year we ran into the whole, where's the gameplay? So that's
joking about the Nintendo conference that it was essentially the not actual gameplay footage conference, which is good, actually, when I think about it. It's like they just straight up said, yeah, hey, here's some cinematics. Enjoy.
Yeah. All right. Then after that, the show gets worse.
Pour one out for EA here, because here comes a couple mobile game references again.
First,
so Bethesda playing EA hardcore this year.
We get the trailer for Elder Scrolls Online, and then the death of many of my friends on Twitter's hearts. They bring up people who claim this is like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Commander Keen.
Yep. My friend Vox of Voxandra.com and Twitter, she actually said Commander Keen is like the Mario of DOS games.
Yep.
Because we get the return of Commander Keen for mobile.
It looks like baby's first college mobile game assignment.
Yeah, and both kids are named Billy.
Yeah. Just everything. Also, who names both their kids the same name?
Yeah, you're a Chad if you do that.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean,
like, this is looks like a Saturday morning cartoon, but they overuse the word fuck a lot. Yay.
Yeah.
And the kids look like Johnny Test.
Oh god. And now when I go on YouTube to try to watch videos of anything pertaining to E3 or gaming related, I get freaking annoyed with the first 5 seconds before I hit skip ad of Commander Keen. Skip ad.
Yeah. All right, then we got the Elder Scrolls card game.
And of course Fallout Shelter. They had to talk about how many times that got downloaded.
Yep. Then we get the trailer for Rage 2.
More content. And an 80... I gotta admit, I like the trailer.
You were supposed to. That's the whole thing.
Everything else about it.
Exactly.
Just like... They didn't. I love how somebody from Bethesda threw a hissy fit on Twitter when a guy from Forbes reported that, hey, where's the publicity for this game? I thought it was coming out like in a week. So what the fuck do you know about gaming, huh? Shut the fuck up! Like,
Our gaming community, ladies and gentlemen.
Then we get Wolfenstein Youngblood, July 26th.
Not looking forward to it as much as I thought I would, because the freaking version that's coming to the Switch is a physical box with a download code inside of it. Like, at that point, why are you even fucking trying?
Yeah.
Well, it's to piss us off people, you know, who are hashtag forever physical.
Yep. Yep.
Then we get some French people who come out and wasted people's time by saying fuck a lot.
Deathloop.
Yeah,
Arcane
with a
Studios.
strong female, quote unquote, who wants to kill everyone and stay in the loop, and then the regular guy who doesn't want a regular guy who doesn't want to kill anymore and wants out of the loop.
So yet again, back to Killer Queen.
But this game I kind of dug the aesthetic of this game, but
Tarantino.
It's.
I described the two developers from Arcane Studios as, and this is legit the guy's name. I could not stop laughing about it because I'm like, really?
Yes.
Dinga Bakaba and the hipster who loves to say fuck.
Yes. What do you expect from the people who gave us a dinosaur?
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks like it would get boring so fast.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like it's X versus Sever meets Groundhog Day.
Exactly.
Yep.
And we're already getting a horrible Groundhog Day video game.
we really are.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's a sequel to Groundhog Day, and it's for PlayStation VR.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep, good.
Then
Good
we
place
get
for it.
Orion, the stream service with no input latency.
Yeah, and
So
this is
the-
apparently
Streaming engine, not service.
Yes.
So in other words, it's the engine that will make any of these supposed streaming platforms work better.
They talked about it very briefly, like they mentioned, I think, the name of it during the Stadia for one of the announcements. I think it was the Doom Eternal announcement. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was a reference to Orion during that conference.
Yeah. But then we get Doom Eternal. Doom Guy is basically the new platforming mascot.
I gotta say, I think that the level design, everything about it looks really cool.
Yeah,
I've
plus
heard a lot of...
Plus they have multiplayer mode.
That, on the other hand, a lot of people have been very lukewarm on the battle mode in that, where it's two demons versus one slayer.
Yes.
Everybody's like,
this quote is gonna make you crack up. Doom is now just Shin Megami Tensei Heaven is pissed at Doom Guy for stopping demons from killing humanity, so now Doom Guy must kill angels.
So that's why Shin Megami Tensei 5 is taking forever to come out.
Exactly. It's now Doom Eternal.
Yeah, I get a real Unreal Tournament vibe out of that. The platforming aspect of it, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, I loved Unreal Tournament in the day,
Me
but
too.
And that
So the
yeah.
big highlight of Sunday night is coming up right here.
Yep. And now we got Devolver Digital.
Devolver Digital. That was freaking beautiful.
Yes.
From the fact that, like, it kind of parodied the show The Good Place, where ultimate waifu Nina could not swear for some odd reason.
Yes. And it was basically them making fun of Nintendo Direct, but don't say that because it's not Nintendo Direct.
They also took shots immediately at Sony and EA as well for not being there at E3 with press conferences this year as well.
yeah, the only problem with the whole thing is that I didn't give a rat's behind about any of the games.
No.
It was an awesome.
Devolver?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I flipped the fuck out because, I mean, my friend Pedro comes out on Thursday, I believe, the June 20th.
Yep.
But
Fall
My bad,
Guys.
you're right. My friend Pedro did look
looked
awesome.
funny. Fall Guys looked funny.
Fall
Devolver
Guys looked
Bootleg
like-
was.
Fall Guys looked like MXC the game.
Oh God, yeah, no, with
It's
wonderful,
MXC.
wonderful ragdoll physics akin to Gang Beasts.
Yes. Then we
Um,
get the $5,000 Enter the Gungeon light gun game.
whoa, DevolverBootleg.com.
Oh yeah, the Volver Blue.
Yes.
With
So at a
Castlevania.
glorious 1% off on Steam. A very deep jab at the Epic Store. So they made fun of Sony and EA for not showing up, made fun of Nintendo Direct, then took a heavy jab at the Epic Store. It's like Devolver don't give two shits. They will make fun of the whole damn game industry by the time they're done.
Yep.
Next year, it's going to be all about them blasting streaming. I'm calling it ahead of time.
I'm sure it will be.
But yeah, DevolverBootleg.com. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Just as beautiful as the fact that you could have bought one of their freaking Devolver cryptocurrency like you could have bought one of those last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, House of the Gun Dead. They must have bought a bunch of old House of the Dead cabinets and refurbished them and outfit them with like flat screens and infrared sensors and all that junk. I am looking forward to like as soon as that shows up at like the arcade, like the really awesome one where I live, round one, or it shows up at Dave and Buster's in Providence. I am going to drop like $20 down on that motherfucker just because I love freaking Enter the Gungeon, and this is just like House of the Dead Enter the Gungeon, and I love House of the Dead. If I had the money, I'd buy one of those damn machines. You kidding me? Sign me up.
Then we got Carrying, the pixel art game.
Reverse horror is what they refer to it as. Where you
Katamari
kind of
with
play...
gore. Katamari with
Yeah.
gore.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that, actually. It looked pretty fun.
Then we got Messenger, Tropic Vacation.
Yeah, free content coming to the game if you already own it.
It's a shonen anime.
Yeah, it's July 11th hitting out there.
Yep.
They kind of hinted around that they almost wanted to do these Devolver Directs on a regular basis, kind of. But then the way it ended definitely just made it seem like, oh no, this is a one-off. You know, like. Although I wouldn't have minded seeing them be a regular thing.
I need waifu Nina always.
So I will say after Devolver, they brought back John Carnage and the pre-show, which is partially run by Devolver Digital. That was my highlight of E3 2 years ago because they showed off weird games and legitimate games. In this very weird Eric Andre showish type environment live. They would bring on developers. It's how I learned of best game ever, Duck Game.
That game.
That's how I learned of it. I watched a bit of the pre-show this year. There was the game like Ape something. It's already out. It's an indie game. I learned of it from watching that this year. I'm like, I must play it. The highlight of that, of course, was they have Kaiju Big Battle cut in and out throughout the whole presentation. 2 years ago, they had footage from the show I was at in Boston. This year, they had footage from the show that was WrestleMania weekend down in New Orleans. My buddy Mario Bueno, who now works over at the leaderboard on YouTube for Frederator, he was actually the commentator, the announcer for the Kaiju show that was showing during the pre-show. They also showed Dr. Cube playing a game on stream. I have no clue what the hell the name of the game was, but he had this oversized pair of freaking cat ear headphones on as he's playing the game. I'm like, this is beautiful. This is beautiful.
But Jace, did you notice one thing missing from the Devolver conference?
The lack of people getting killed?
No. No Metal Wolf Chaos.
Yeah, it's still supposedly coming out this year. Like, before Devolver happened, when we did a little pre-show discussion, I looked up what was on the docket from last year, which had me looking at my friend Pedro, finding out, oh, wow, it's out next week. Okay, never mind. they're probably not going to talk about it then. And then they talked about it, and then I'm like, where the fuck is Metal of Chaos? And I read about it and said it was supposed to be coming out sometime this year. Don't know if it got delayed. A little bit of a disappointment that there wasn't any talk about it, but then again, who knows? I mean, maybe it could have even just been a joke, but I really doubt it because it was listed everywhere as something legitimately coming out, so.
Then we are on to... What day
It is Monday morning,
Yes,
afternoon.
Monday morning. The VR conference.
Oh, the PC gaming shit show, as I like to call it.
No, this was the VR one.
There was a VR one?
Yes.
When the fuck was that?
Like few hours before the PC conference.
Huh. I
This
couldn't find that anywhere.
This was hosted by a YouTuber named Release VR.
Huh.
He was using no microphones. He was using his camera microphone.
Oof.
Yeah. And the resolution was not good. But they showed Meat Fortress, which is Team Fortress but with hot dogs. Arizona Sunshine, a zombie shooter. A VR boat game, basically you attack pirate ships, and that's it.
Oh boy.
Golem by former Bungie employees, which looks pretty good. Then we get... You need to look this up after we're done. It's called Pistol Whip.
All right, the title alone has my interest.
It's a rhythm-based shooter. It's a rhythm-based shooter. They're showing this, and not 15 seconds in, and this was all pre-recorded. This was pre-recorded. The frames are breaking up.
Oof.
Yeah, and it actually shows the guy in the green screen. It actually shows the green screen.
And this was this
and
done
the
on
guy's
purpose?
running, and he's got running doing gun kata. He's wearing a John Wick cosplay.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm watching a trailer right now. Pistol Whip is a VR game that mixes Beat Saber with John Wick.
Yeah, and the devs are talking about how stylized the game is.
It looks really hard to see.
Yeah. Then a bunch of zombie games, like a shitty Walking Dead game. Garden of the Sea, which is basically a farming game. And then they closed the show off with Angry Birds The Movie 2 VR game.
The fact that that not only did that movie get a sequel, but that Angry Birds is still talked about is amazing.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a painful watch.
I'm kind of glad I didn't see that.
Yeah. Then
I
we
am
move on
horribly happy my girlfriend did not make me go see that movie.
Then we go to the PC gaming show hosted by Day 9 and someone who I can only describe as female Carrot Top.
I thought it was Pat, honestly. Like it's Pat from SNL.
Yeah. That's the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So British Pat, because she had a British accent.
They showed off Evil Genius 2 World Domination.
I thought that was kind of funny, especially the whole... We swear this is not Gru from Despicable Me. Please ignore the fact that he looks blatantly like him.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
Oh god, I am so beyond pumped for that. I never expected a sequel ever to this game. Be still my beating role-playing heart. I'm actually replaying the first one on my stream these days, bouncing between that and Borderlands, the first game. And yeah.
Starmancer 2, Starmancer.
Look, kind of interesting, like a Stardew Valley in space, kind of.
Chivalry 2.
Epic Store first.
Yep. Mosaic.
Oh, wait. Best quote of this show. Beat a man with a chicken while quoting Shakespeare.
Yes. Then we get Mosaic. That trailer, dude. Oh my god. You can see people clipping through walls. And then
I did think it was cool that there's a tie-in mobile game that the characters are playing in the trailer
No,
that you
that's
can
the game.
download right
That's
now.
the game.
No, the mobile game Blip Blop.
No, the idle game the guy was playing.
Yeah, the idle game. That's called Blip Blop. That's out on phones now.
Ugh.
You can download Blip Blop while waiting for Mosaic to come out this year. Apparently,
I swear I thought you had like a stroke or something. Blip blop.
Blip.
What game? The game, the blip blop. The what? Oh, I'm sorry.
Babe's known as having a strong collarbondulance.
Midnight Ghost Hunt,
That looked interesting.
based
Yeah.
on the Gary's mod prop hunt.
Yeah, that looked interesting. I mean, the concept, kind of a Ghost Hunters-ish type thing. Kind of reminded me of, what was it, like Haunting, starring Poltergeist on the Genesis. Kind of gave me some vibes of that. Reminded me a little bit of the Luigi's Mansion game, too, from Nintendo Land. Kind of gave me vibes of all those. I like the whole mechanic where, like, you got, like, 4 minutes as the humans to hunt down the ghosts, but then after midnight, it's a game of survival and trying to wait till, like, evac comes and gets you out of the house.
Yes. Unexplored 2.
Looked kind of beautiful with the cell shading. I feel like when done right, that art style is wonderful.
Then they do a promo for Samsung's RG5 monitor.
Why do we need to show off a monitor on something that's streaming to everybody live online?
Then FanCom came out. They did not look fun. Seed of Evil.
Seed of Evil. I'm trying to see where the hell... Maybe that was something where I missed the title of something, or I just got a little bored during this.
Understandable. Coded Unconquered. It's an RTS game.
Okay, yeah.
Moons of Madness.
Yep, that's the...
Cthulhu game.
That one's Xbox, PC, PS4. Mutant Year Zero Seed of Evil,
Yep.
I guess. That one's hitting everything, including the Switch. That's July 30th.
Then we get a top-down hack-and-slash goofy roguelike game called Conan Chop Chop.
Oh god, I
Oh,
cannot
yes.
wait. Hits everywhere.
Which was a joke.
Yeah. So kind of looked like Side-Eyed and Happiness. I was like, oh my god, is this like an add-on for like freaking Rapture Rejects? Because they showed that off last year. And it's like, well, September 3rd, roguelike, co-op game, very kind of Gauntlet-ish looking. I'm like, yeah, no, sign me up. That looks good. I'll play it.
It looks goofy, and I like it. Last Oasis.
I'd refer to the, I'd call the aesthetic from that wind punk.
Yeah. A survival game with crazy contraptions. You'll team up with other players to build, then pilot mechs, going into battle against other teams trying to live a more peaceful existence.
Yeah, no, just kind of meh right there. You know. Okay.
Age of Wonders Planetfall.
Okay, yeah.
A Zombie Army 4 Cyber Elite expansion with Hitler as a zombie.
Oh boy, zombie Nazis.
Now
Again.
with Hitler.
Yep.
Now with Hitler. Oh my god. So can somebody make that into something similar to the whole featuring Dante from Devil May Cry and Knuckles meme? So now with Hitler.
Animal Crossing. Now with Hitler.
Oh god.
That's why the game's taking longer.
Yes.
Exactly.
From Gunfire Game, Revenant of the Ashes from the makers of Darksiders.
Yeah, that looked kind of interesting. Xbox, PS4, PC, coming out August 20th.
Then we get from Clay, the makers of Shank, we have Grifflins, an awful card game adventure game.
Oh boy, deck building on PCs instead of an actual card game.
Yep.
So excited! It's Epic Games exclusive, which guarantees I'm definitely not going to play it.
Then we get the adorable zoo simulator, Planet Zoo.
And that one's coming to Steam. Roller Coaster Tycoon, but with zoos and animal care sim.
Yeah. Okay, then...
Shit show!
We get Shenmue 3, and it's sealed off by the PC Epic Game Store.
Oh my god, that could be an episode on its own.
Hashtag Shenmue is real!
That hurts me, because I backed that game.
Yeah, but you should also expect now when you see any indie game, especially if they're on Kickstarter, and they use the words Unreal Engine, do not think for a moment that you are going to play that on Steam.
Yeah.
Because they're an indie dev, and with that freaking, 10-cent China money, they're going to basically be like, yep, nah, you guys make more money because you can use our engine for free if you publish on us.
What was it, Mr. Feel on Gigaboots' Big Think Live? He said, Shenmue died so Yakuza can walk. That hurt me. But Songs of Conquest.
So like Heroes of Might and Magic, classic strategy games. All right.
Vermin Type 2.
So another Warhammer game. Because it's not E3 now, I guess, the PC gaming show, without a Warhammer game literally every year.
A game that I actually want to check out, Chris Tales.
Where the hell is that in my notes?
Influence the past, change the future, and live in 3 different timelines at once.
I think I flipped too much out of it to write it down, or it's on... Oh, wait, no, I got it on something else. There were a few things before that. There was Per Aspera on Steam, and then Ancestors Humankind Odyssey, where you evolve, I guess, monkeys into humans. And Auto Chess from Dragon Nest Studios.
That game.
But yeah, Chris Tales, the demo is live on Steam right now. You can download it. It's going to be on Steam.
That game looks fun.
I downloaded the demo. Mercer's disappointed she can't play it because it's not on Mac. She's now very much regretting ever getting a Mac.
Well, it's a Mac.
It's useful while you're going to school, but not much else after that.
Unfortunately, I have to use a Mac just because I'm an illustrator.
So you don't have to use a Mac. I mean, I do both graphics and video and sound, and I do it all from a Windows computer. But
it's, I don't know. I was told like that it works better with Photoshop.
Yeah, but Chris Tales, no, looking forward to it. Hitting all platforms, so of course I'm going to get that on Switch. It's slated for 2020 release.
Ferris.
That looked like it was from the makers of possibly Slain. It was a very metal fucking trailer.
You headbang when you defeat a monster and gain their power.
Yeah, which made me think of Slain, because, and I've played that a bit on my stream. It's a very freaking hardcore, I mean, I hate that whole, this is the Dark Souls of blah, 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 but, this game is very heavy on the whole parrying and blocking and stuff. It is not a Castlevania-style game. This one appears to be very Castlevania-like, but, I've heard some people say Castlevania meets Mega Man.
Actually, it looks more like Contra.
Yeah, very Contra too. It's got a lot to it. It's a very demanding, deliberate kind of platforming. Yeah. But it's so metal. And then more Borderlands 3.
Yep. Which we'll get to when we get to AMD.
Yep.
And then we get a game I still want to play, even though the co-host came out in a shark suit and I wanted to die.
Oh, God.
We got the Shark PG Maneater.
Yep, which is finally coming out this year. Yes. With this is what made me go, oh.
I still want to play this game. I don't care.
It's gonna make me unfortunately download the Epic Games Store because it's coming to Epic Games.
Yeah. But I still want to play it. I still want to play this game. It looks stupid, and I love it.
It does look fun. It does look fun as fuck. I wanted to play it since last year, so...
Her in that shark suit was awful.
I'm sorry, are you cosplaying Left Shark? Like, what the fuck is going on here?
I want to take a bite out of the audience, but first I need to go backstage because I'm actually hungry, was her actual quote. Then we get a ad for the eWin gaming chair.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to have a chair.
Yeah, they named it eWin. Time to take some W's with that epic lumbar support.
Oh boy.
Then we... Tetria Journey's End?
Okay, yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah,
I guess.
Tetria is getting downloadable content.
Oh yeah, Terraria. I kind of wanted to try that out at one point. It seemed kind of like a side-scrolling Minecraft kind of.
Okay, and then I have to talk about this. We get Telling Lies.
Yes.
The successor to Her Story.
Yep.
Okay. Watch videos, interface with the OS, and play back the video clip and watch in any order. Here's the insulting part, and I quote, "The collage of videos you can watch is really an open world game." Sorry, what? Hugh, stop fucking lying.
I love how FMV games are slowly becoming a thing again somehow because of the indie industry. Like, you have people who I guess have failed at being filmmakers and now are just like, but what if I took my film and shot alternative takes of things and then just chopped it up and we published it as a game? More people would see it that way.
Yeah, they used the open world about 4 times. So does this mean Night Trap is the world's first open world game?
Depends on if Night Trap came out before or after. I want to say it was like the first Romancing Saga game on the SNES.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. This podcast is now an open world game. Fuck it. However, it's only available on the Epic Game Store.
Ooh.
But okay, but that pissed me off. That whole Telling Lies thing. It didn't even look fun. But then we get Warframe. Interesting.
I mean, it's getting a spin-off. That's kind of cool. I mean, I think I barely scratched the surface of the game when it hit Switch, and it looks gorgeous. But I mean, it was just okay,
Then we get Genesis Noir, which looked...
That looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
Hand-drawn art, white noir in space.
Yeah. El Hijo.
Yep.
Yeah.
No thoughts.
Yeah.
No.
Baldur's Gate 3.
That was revealed initially at the Stadia conference. I'm sold on it already. It just looks amazing, and I haven't even seen gameplay of it. I'm just excited to go back and play some stuff in the D&D world on a computer or console again.
Mm-hmm.
I think that ends it for the PC one.
Now, between all of that, I had found out apparently Arcade 1-Up was there at the show, and they showed off a couple machines that they're going to be selling. And I can't believe I'm actually going to want to shell out over $300 on one of these things. They're putting out a Marvel one, which will have, I believe it's the Marvel fighting game that Capcom made. And then due to licensing and a special board that they're using for this, Turtles. Both 1989 arcade and Turtles in Time on one machine,
Wonderful.
4 players. Is beautiful. It's $350. And then
I will buy that.
And then with special joystick, unlike any of the other arcade controllers that have been on any of their other machines, a Star Wars arcade machine, not the Sega one, but the classic Atari-style Star Wars games. which is unique in and of itself because of the Star Wars license. I mean, if I had lots of money to throw around, like if I had stupid freaking money and I could just sit on my ass and collect games and stream, yeah, I would build up a small game room like RGT85 has. I would buy freaking Turtles day one. You kidding me? But, yeah. So the next one would be limited run games.
Yeah, they want to be Devolver, but it comes off with channel awesome energy.
They did this last year,
this was painful. I hated this.
I wouldn't say that they're trying to be Devolver as much as they are literally streaming out of a closet in their office.
Yeah,
when
it
they
looks
do
like
this.
something Channel Awesome would do.
To me, it feels more like I'm looking at if Tim and Eric made an N64 game. That's how I feel about it.
And I do not like that type of humor at all.
I love Tim and Eric, but then again, that's also why I love Devolver. Is Devolver kind of plays like Tim and Eric a bit too.
Tim and Eric is an acquired taste. That's the best way I gotta tell people.
Limited Run gets points for me just for having a JoJo reference when they were talking about how they are.
Oh my god!
Vita!
That was so stupid. Oh my god!
They get points for me for that, and the fact that they admitted that they're the last person to ever print Vita cartridges.
Yeah.
They also will be the last to ever publish a physical 3DS game with the Atui collection, which will feature Mutant Mudds, Bomb Monkey, Zeo Drifter, Mutant Mudds 2, and Chicken Wiggle.
Yep, I got the entire list.
Okay, yeah, because it's a big-ass list.
Yeah, Atari Flashbacks Classic, Atui Collection, Bad North, Blaster Master Zero, Blazing Chrome, Corpse Killer, The Curse of the Monkey Island, Damascus Gear Operation Asuka, Damascus Gear Operation Tokyo, Dark Devolution, Deadbolt, Double Switch for the Switch, Freedom Planet,
Yep.
Guacamelee,
Yep.
Hover, Mercenary Kings, Metal Slug 3, Monkey Island 2 Special Edition LeChuck's Revenge, Night in the Woods, which is the deer game, Papers, Please, which is a fun game.
Yeah.
Pix-a-Cat. I want to play Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. That looked fun.
It is a very fun game. It's I don't play a lot of fighting games, but that's one of the few games that I will tell you right now you should definitely play.
I played the mobile game that it was based off of, and I was kind of impressed at like the graphics just on the mobile game itself. I want to play it, but there's not enough characters, and they're going to do 50 billion season passes for the game. Because, the game only comes with, 8 or 10 characters to begin with?
Yeah, right now, you get some characters. They have released They have released the free DLC right now. It gave story mode. It gave you 3 new Power Rangers, I believe it was. But what's funny enough is story mode. I beat that game in less than an hour or so.
Yeah.
Because it ended a cliffhanger. It's not completed. So we have to for another season pass and all that jazz.
Way too rushed. I mean, I feel like that game is going to be the American equivalent of the Dead or Alive games and the staggering amount of DLC that those get.
All right, Real Mist, Red Faction of all things.
Yeah, no, THQ Nordic has been blatantly just flaunting all of the franchises that they've acquired. And they've made some killer announcements left and right, whether it's full remasters and remakes of games. SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom just being remade from scratch. I mean, they hold the rights to freaking Time Splitters.
Yeah.
You know they're going to make an announcement about that soon.
Soon, yes.
They're just waiting for a moment to blow people's minds with that one.
Revenant Dogma, Rocket Birds Hard Boiled Chicken, Rocket Birds 2 Evolution, Rogue Story, Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition, Shenmue 3 Collector's Edition for PC and PS4.
For those who didn't back it on Kickstarter.
A whole bunch of Star Wars games.
That blew my mind. I'm like, oh my god, we are getting freaking old school Star Wars games, starting with Bounty Hunter on the PS4.
Empire Strikes Back, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, Racer Revenge, Rebel Assault, Shadow of the Empire, TIE Fighter, X-Wing. Whew.
I will gladly sink my teeth into all of those to have physical copies, because I have most of them on PC or on other platforms like Bounty Hunter on GameCube and Shadows on N64 and stuff. It's like I will gladly double dip on a lot of those just to have physical copies.
Oh yeah, Super Meat Boy, Super Mutant Alien Assault, Tales from Space, Mutant Blobs Attack, Translator, Turok 2, Sea of the
Transistor.
That's right.
Yeah, from the makers of Bastion. Yeah, the fact that Turok 1 and 2 are coming together in one set, I'm like, beautiful.
Yeah, that's
beautiful.
Now, if we may take a moment, in November alone, November 8th, Death Stranding. November 15th, Pokemon Sword and Shield and Jedi Fallen Order. The 19th, Shenmue 3. The 22nd, Doom Eternal.
That is nothing, although, because I tried to chart out everything that I wanted to buy. In July 9th, Senran Kagura Peach Ball. July 12th, God Eater 3 and Dragon Quest Builders 2. July 19th, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. July 26th, Fire Emblem Three Houses. August 20th, Killer Queen Black. August 22nd, Ononaki. Yeah, Killer Queen Black.
I know. I keep making that joke whenever I hear it.
Killer Queen. Yeah. August 27th, a physical release for the Mana Collection on Switch. August 29th, Bubsy. August 30th, Astral Chain. Here's the big one. September. Prepare to file for bankruptcy, folks, or apply for another mortgage or whatever. September 3rd, Conan Chop Chop. September 10th, Indivisible and Gears 5. September 13th, Borderlands 3 and Demon Ex Machina. September 20th, Zelda Ni no Kuni Remaster, a bunch of amiibo, including Solid Snake and the Link's Awakening Link. September 24th, Contra Rogue Core and Baldur's Gate 3. September 27th, Dragon Quest XI S and Code Vein.
God damn.
And the only game I have marked down for October that really caught my eye, Medieval. So, September is the month that is going to leave many a gamer crying.
But right now, we are going to take a short break. We're back right after this.